All right, the videos as part of this little snippet will be from April 26th and 27th, looking at my social media feed, particularly on X, okay, because I follow a lot of weather sites, and even sites I don't follow happen to show up in my feed, but I just wanted to convey that during this severe weather situation, which was 26th and 27th of April, the 26th, devastating tornadoes across Nebraska and parts of the Plains states. Lots of videos were shared of tornadoes and such. And then on the 27th, as I'm recording this, there's anticipated another round of severe weather. But many sites, such as the very popular Jim Cantori, has a lot of followers. He posts a lot of weather information. Lots and lots and lots of people post weather information and videos and of severe weather, and official sites such as the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service post information about upcoming severe weather threats. So we really have the information out there. Is now just a matter of, in terms of communicating that information, I think it's often very much too much, and sorting through what's real, what's not, what's old, and what's new. By the example, some of the videos I saw on my feed yesterday and today were of tornadoes that happened several years ago. They weren't even yesterday's tornadoes, okay? So unless there's a timestamp you're paying attention to, you may not know if it's accurate what you're looking at. So I think there's a lot of hazard in terms of looking at information out there on social media in particular, and in terms of severe weather situations, and just taking for granted that what you're reading is accurate. But if you know the source you're looking at is accurate, and if that source is retweeting stuff or reposting stuff, you, I guess, can assume for the most part that information they had been looking at is accurate or been verified. But if there's any doubt, you can always go to National Weather Service sites, NOAA sites on social media, and those are legitimate sites for the most part, unless there's somebody trying to scam their sites and copy them and make you think that they are them. So that's it. Go ahead now and watch these videos. I'm kind of going through in the rest of this video some of the social media posts I saw regarding the severe weather setup. All right, I'm talking on the weather day, which is now April 27th. Severe weather day followed up to a very active severe weather day on April 26th. Just surfing my social media feeds. This is on X or Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, and ran across this post. I don't know how it showed up on my feed. I don't even follow this person, but the storm tracker Mike Scantlin posted this share from NATOcast, which I've never heard of them either, but I'll click on this and see what they're showing. And this is kind of a machine learning type weathercast. Let me see what they say. Tornado probabilities via machine learning, post-processing of public weather simulations, subjective comparisons at those sites. Any event, this is a new site to me on X, but interesting. Just an example of how, with social media, we are seeing just oodles of information, all right, when there's severe weather risk, especially so. All of the weather fanatics, and I'll call them fanatics, sometimes not in a good way, because they tend to get very exuberant over severe weather, which is not good for most of us. But in any event, the weather fanatics are all over the social media scene. And this one, I'm not saying is bad, but I'm not saying is great either, because I don't know the algorithms this person is using. But it is showing a significant tornado risk on this April 27th over the Central Plains states. And they even have a high probability of tornadoes hitting within 25 miles of any given point. This is not from the Storm Prediction Center, okay? This is I guess a private algorithm that's being used. But that's just an example of what's out there on social media. And then lots of people follow this site as well. I'll go back to the site that happened to show up in my feed from this person, Storm Tracker Mike. And he essentially just goes on and talks about, let me go back one page here and see what he's talking about. In terms of, I'll go to his site. He's talking about severe weather threat. Apparently this person posts a lot of stuff on severe storms. Okay, so he posted these shares from another person, Ann Brown. Today will be that's a TV meteorologist. Today will be another very active weather day, and that person posted tornado outlook, very high risk. There you can see in Oklahoma and other areas, and there's a tornado risk. There's the hail outlook. These are from the Storm Prediction Center now. What the maps that Ann Brown is showing and shared are from the Storm Prediction Center. They're just kind of massaged through their own TV station's computer system, so it shows more detail. And that shows hail index zone, where there's going to be, let's see what it says, baseball, softball size hail possible in that area. This was a radar picture. This is some video, which I'll show another clip more of that in a minute or two from April 26th. But these are just links that are shared on various sites, okay? These are just basically either TV meteorologists or private storm forecasters. Some people not necessarily meteorologists. I'm assuming this person might be, but again, just lots of information out there, and it's the age we live in now with social media. When there's a severe weather threat, there's no shortage of information out there. And the question I would pose is, how do you decipher through all of this? Jim Cantore, obviously, if you've probably heard of him, he's been around for a long time. Very popular. He has over 1 million followers on X. But this is his feed on X. This is as of April 27th, and he's showing a tornado watch that's already issued by the National Weather Service down over Texas. There's the Storm Prediction Center Severe Weather Outlook. He posts there. He reposted that, and it shows that, again, very high, enhanced and moderate risk of severe weather over the Plain States, Central Plains. And then after the fact, after the storms that happened on the 26th of April, the devastating storms in Nebraska and such, he posted some pictures of the devastation there. And then this was he posted this radar picture. He says, clearly visible tornado vortex signature and tornado debris concurrent on the radar. And sadly, we've seen this a lot today. This is on April 26th. But what you're looking at, and I'll play the video here. At the top, you're looking at possibly some debris. It's hard to pick it out. Really, you have to have a sharp eye to see that. But then this is on the bottom image. That's actually the vortex signature that we're seeing. The velocity signature, and you can see that tornado going through that area. That's near Des Moines, Iowa. So, any event, Jim Cantore posted that. Also posted the videos of some people shared. This is a video of a strong tornado northeast of Lincoln, Nebraska, and somebody had posted this, and Jim Cantore shared it on X. And here's the video. And we've all seen tons of videos of tornadoes, but this is an example of that very powerful tornado that hit out there. And then, again, Jim Cantore shared a lot of videos on his feed. This was yesterday, and I'm recording this on April 27th. So this was on the 26th when we had tornadoes all over the place through the Midwest and the Plain States. This was another video somebody shot. All right. And just another video. So just tons of videos. And I guess my point is, and this, is that the videos are out there. Everybody is shooting videos of the extreme weather. They're, getting pictures, making reports. And it's going on social media a lot. And there are a couple things about that we can identify and try to stay safe when we see those kind of pictures and understand the risk. But also some people put themselves in harm's way when they're trying to shoot videos and try to be the first one to put it out there online and social media. So I think it's a kind of a double-edged sword in terms of the impacts that this can have on us when we share so much information and try to get it out there and in competition with others too. But again, I think these are great examples of how at least the messaging is getting out there about severe weather. I mean, if you are in the Midwest or Plains, for example, April 26th, and didn't know there was a severe weather threat, a significant one, then you really hadn't been paying attention to any of your social media feeds. So that's the value of social media right there. But also I mentioned it can sometimes produce a little bit too much information and makes things confusing. It can make things confusing. All right, here's another site, another poster on X, and this is from the National Weather Service. So if there's any question about if you want to see official data from official sources, you can always just search for NWS and put in the city name. And in this case, I put in Amarillo, Texas, and it will give you choices of the National Weather Service offices. And this one I clicked on, this is on X again. I clicked on Amarillo, and this is as of April 27th. Early in the day, it's showing all of the tornado or severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in effect. It's showing the risk areas, risk discussions for severe weather. I'm just scrolling down their feed here for just this morning. And we can see radar pictures, kind of many descriptions of what's happening. This was early in the morning hours. They said the primary threat for thunderstorms is the highlighted area, etc. They're just covering it all, basically. And then we keep scrolling down the feed to the day before, and basically those are various other watches and advisories that were issued. So my point is, you can always go to the National Weather Service sites. The Storm Prediction Center is another great follow on X or Twitter. By the way, if you're going to follow for immediate breaking weather information, I do advise that X is really a good site, even though there's a lot of issues that happen at times with, too much information, sometimes not accurate information. If you follow the right sites on X, you will get the good information, and particularly if it's a government site like the National Weather Services, the Storm Prediction Center. And you see they have almost 500,000 followers, so you know that's a legitimate site. But this gives a lot of the same setups and such that happened for April 26th and now again for April 27th. So just a great information out there, and I think very effective conveyance of the information. You just have to know where to find it and when to look for it. So how do we use this for this class? Well, this is a good example of looking at the most significant weather event for the week, and this would be good for your weather journal as well, and deciding this was the most significant weather. Even if you're looking at it after the fact, you see there was this huge tornado outbreak on Friday, April 26th, in this example. You might, if it happened during the week when you're doing a Weather Journal post, you can look at what information had been put out there from the Storm Prediction Center, various sources online, etc. And then identify the severe weather risk or extreme weather situation. And then you would not only identify it, but then you would evaluate the communication of that risk to the public via social media, various other ways, and then suggest ways that it could have been improved, okay? So this would be a good example of that. So, any event, that's it for this video. I just wanted to share this under an extreme weather event that happened in late April.